everyone, my name is Angelica and thank you for joining me at the writer's table with This is Improv. For a previous video, we talked about writing your sketch and having it go on for a series, and we broke it down into storyline style and sitcom style. Today, we're revisiting the sitcom. And why is it so much fun? Why do we love sitcoms so much? Why was it so popular back in the 90s, back when television, back I Love Lucy, for example? Why do we love I Love Lucy? Well, we get really attached to those characters, and we get attached to, and we become invested into their stories and what happens next to them. Like in I Love Lucy, Lucy always gets into trouble. So we come to expect something from her, but we also want to see her succeed and her progress and see how she and Desi really manage their lifestyles. So what is a sitcom? We see it all the time. There is Modern Family, and what's interesting about Modern Family is it's a more modern style of sitcom. We follow the lives of family units within that larger family structure. And they all go through their own scenarios, and they have that interview kind of style, where the classic sitcom might be something more along the lines of the Brady Bunch or That's So Raven, where we get a perspective, an outsider's perspective, almost like we're floating around looking at what's going on, like we're ghosts. Whereas Modern Family breaks that fourth wall when they have the interview style. We might also consider sitcom style a little bit easier to write because you do have that template in place, and that's the cool thing about sitcoms. There is a little template in place. I love templates. It helps me achieve things quickly and effectively. So the template of a sitcom really is that you have these characters. It's very character driven, and these characters last through the entire series. Sometimes you have a character leave or some circumstance happen where you lose a character, you gain a character, but that's few and far in between. Then once you have those characters, you have your main what. And this what moment is going to come up in the first episode. Once it comes up in the first episode, maybe it's mentioned here and there, maybe it's a part of the character's story, but it doesn't really affect the different episodes or the different scenes that you develop. Let's look at BoJack Horseman as an example here. So BoJack Horseman is interesting because it is about a 90s sitcom star who has kind of faded out into the modern world. What's interesting is the actual show plays out almost like a modern sitcom. You have these characters, it's very character driven, but in each episode, there are different scenarios driving that character along. So here we're talking about storyline style and sitcom style as the only two existent styles, though there are many. But if we're looking at it that way, it's almost a blend of the two. Because in BoJack, there is a larger storyline going on, if you want to write yours that way. In BoJack's main story, he encounters different characters, and there are different characters in his world. And in each episode, the writers pick out maybe a few characters to really follow and focus on, putting them through different scenarios. The initiating factor, or what that happens to initiate this whole sitcom, would be Diane writing a story about BoJack. Then every episode might kind of touch on that initiating factor, but it doesn't matter as much as this is what initiated my sitcom. And now I can play out these different whats in each episode that I come up with. Then we have BoJack's sub-story, his past, his sitcom, his 90s sitcom. So the initiating factor in the 90s sitcom BoJack had was that he had to take care of 3 kids. So once the kids were put into his custody, the plot really unfolded, and this sitcom really came to life. Now maybe the fact that the kids' parents died comes up later in different episodes in BoJack's previous sitcom, but it doesn't really drive what's going on in the actual episodes, which might focus around doing well in school, or might focus on some moral activity. So what you need for a sitcom styled sketch or a sitcom styled series is to have it be very character driven. Then throughout the series, you add in different what's for your different episodes. What's driving the characters? What happened to the characters in this scenario? The what can be as extreme as maybe Bobby and Jimmy are your main characters and an asteroid comes out from outer space and they have to deal with the asteroid before their friends are blown to pieces. Or it could be as simple as Bobby and Jimmy having to find cake for their mom's birthday and they really don't know where to go. But you can have so many scenarios with Bobby and Jimmy, for example, and what people are really going to pay attention to and hold on to are the relationships that Bobby and Jimmy hold. So why don't you guys go out and find something that you think would be under a sitcom style series, break it down. See what makes it a sitcom. Who are the characters that really drive the show? Who are we following? Why do we feel attached to these characters? And what kind of scenarios can we see pop up episode to episode? Write in what you see, comment below, subscribe, and if you guys want any help writing your own scripts, writing your own sitcoms or series pieces, feel free to message us directly, send us an email, or sign up for writing classes and we can look at your work in a group setting. Thank you for joining me at the writer's table. My name is Angelica, and this is Improv.